Hi everyone, welcome to our podcast, Best Possible Me, where we look at relationship dilemmas, try to open different viewpoints and perspectives in hopes that if everyone does this, we all become the best possible me. I'm Cindy.
And I'm Ayala.
Welcome to our episode number 11.
And this one is very interesting. Question that arose was I wrong for deleting my wife's social media post about us after discovering she had been lying to her family?
Okay, what is the line to her family? Would you like to read it, Ayala?
Yes, I'll read it. So, I, 35 male, am married to my wife Lena, who's 34. 2 years ago, I married her 2 years ago. Apologies for that. We keep separate social media mostly. She posts family stuff. I post work, fitness stuff. But we tag each other sometimes. Over the past few months, I noticed Lena posting a lot of aspirational content, fancy dinners, trips, apparently gifts for me, etc. But we've been tight financially. And I checked our joint credit card and bank statements, and I saw that she made these trips using her own side income. She's been borrowing money without telling me, and worst, she's been telling her family that we live in a nicer place than we actually do, claiming that she's holding down 2 households. Very weird. When I confronted her, she said that I was being insecure and ruining her image. I asked her to take these posts down until we sorted out our finances. She refused, saying it's her space. I got angry and went and deleted many of those posts, at least the ones that she made about us together. From her phone and account, saying we'll fix our finances first, then you can post the truth. She was livid. She said that I violated her trust, humiliated her socially, controlled her feed. Some mutual friends sided with her, saying that I shouldn't police what she does on social media. Others say that it's reasonable to lie until you're transparent. I don't know. Was I actually wrong for deleting these posts without her consent while we figured out the underlying issues? I don't know.
So that's the story. Yeah,
it's the story.
Yeah, he ended the story with a question. Was he wrong? I see both points. It's not 100% correct to delete her social media posts without her consent, without talking to her first.
It's her account, not his.
Yeah, it's her account, it's not his. And at the same time, the posts that she made about both of them lived or hold down 2 households, living in different places, that he bought present for her, that in actual fact did not happen. She took loan to make it appear that happened. I also on his side in a way that this are lies about their life together. He's involved in that.
Yes, and her finances actually are impacting both of them as well. So if she takes
they are unit,
a loan,
yes.
He will also need to help repay this loan, and her taking a loan without his permission is also a problem because it affects both of them. So really, both sides should have been discussed. Both what she chose to put on social media and both
borrowing money without telling him.
Yes. So obviously there is a bigger issue here about them not being totally honest to each other, which I personally see that as a bigger issue. I think that you should never go into someone else's post and delete them
without their consent.
Without their consent.
Yes.
Saying that, I mean, you can humiliate them by sending contrary posts or by going into their comments and saying, did I really buy that to you?
What was this? Yeah.
Yes. But again, being a couple, you're supposed to be there for each other and not play games. And it looks like there's a lot of games being played here.
There's not much honesty from her side, at least the story we read so far.
Yes, looking at it from only his side and the way he told it until now. And it raises a lot of questions of why is this so important for her to make this image?
There must be an underlying issue. No one, because lying is not comfortable, Ayala. When you come up with one lie, you ended up have to come with 50 more lies to cover that
Yes.
one lie.
And it seems from his side that that the lies are posts that she posts to her family. So if they'll never come and visit them. They won't see really
Yes.
where they're living. They won't really see what's happening with them.
Where is the other household? Or maybe she's even spending money on renting another place. This sounds quite extreme, to be honest. Yeah.
Yes, I don't know. Something is very, very weird here from that point of view as well. So as far as we know at this point, it looks like the most important thing is for both of them to sit down and start being honest rather than accusing each other and playing games of I'll delete and you'll,
If you don't tell me, then I may as well just delete it.
all of these things.
Yeah.
Rather, let's sit down and see, why is it so important for you to make this image? What is this all about? Where is it coming from? Why is it that important that you will take out a loan just to keep this image up?
Very curious, yeah.
Yes. And obviously you've been married 2 years, so you know her well enough. Is this her personality? Usually probably not, because otherwise you would have mentioned this. So if she's not a vain person to begin with,
Yes. Is there a change or is there something happened?
yes, behind the scenes that she hasn't been honest about, and that's really where it's all coming from.
Interesting.
So maybe rather than us talking and not really knowing,
We need to hear from her
her
point of view.
yeah, and then we can chat about it further.
Okay, yeah, sure. I'll read from her point of view. I love my husband and our life together. We're enjoying our jobs, but together we don't really earn much money. We have to live in a basic lifestyle. This would be okay. However, I have a sister who married into a well-off family. My parents feel that my husband wasn't good enough for me and thought that, like my sister, I should have married into money. I don't want my husband to know this, as I don't want to hurt his feelings or make him feel that he is inadequate in any way. However, to appease my family and we live in a different state, I thought I would slowly show them that how well we are actually doing, in order to slowly prove to them that what they thought about my marriage is wrong. So I posted some photos that show we're better off than we really are. To do this, I had to take out a loan, but once they will be convinced, I am sure they will come down and I will slowly be able to pay the loan back. I also don't want my husband to think I am only vain and trying to show off, although actually I am, for keeping family peace and for keep up appearance in front of them. Therefore, I didn't tell him about the loan or my reasoning. When I find out he lost it, I try to explain without giving too much information that I was trying to keep up an image, but he would have nothing of that. He demanded that I take the photos down, and when I said I won't, he deleted my post. How dare he controls me? This is my social media account, not his. If I choose to lie to people, that is on me. For whatever reason, that is up to me. Deleting this actual post put me in a worse position, because now I will have to give some explanations to my family, which I was never planning to be honest with. I thought it was me and him against the world, and he always needs to side with me and protect me, not throw me to the dogs, even if I did something wrong. Okay, that's quite emotionally charged post, I would say.
Yes, and all of a sudden it makes much more sense of where all of this is coming from.
Yes, it's her sister. Her sister married into a well-off family.
Yes. Saying that, I think that honesty in a relationship versus honesty outside to the outside world is a very different thing. You might want to have a certain image to the rest of the world,
Yes.
as long as you have an honest relationship, with your partner. In a way, she didn't have either. Because she wasn't honest with her husband because she didn't want to upset him. So theoretically, for a good reason.
Okay.
But still, there wasn't honesty there.
Yes, yes.
And there isn't honesty, obviously, with the outside world, with her family and things like that, because she wanted them, to slowly think that he's good enough, even though he doesn't have the money.
I think in a way she wasn't honest with herself neither, because if she's truly honest with herself, if she is truly happy with what she has with her and what her husband makes what their life is look like, there's no need to put up the image. Is she honest with what she actually wants and needs?
Yep. I'm not sure I agree with you here, because yes, I understand your point, and in some way I agree with it. But I can see a situation where she is happy with what she has, but she thinks that other people won't be, and for their sake, she puts up the image. Do you really need to put up an image to the outside world? Well, that's a different question altogether, and it really depends on the culture you come from, and again, what kind of a relationship you actually have with your parents and your siblings and stuff like that. Was it always a competitive relationship between her and her sister? Did the parents say to them, it doesn't matter, which one of you is doing better, we love both of you? Or did the parents say, no, the one that does better is the one that is
look
more
at your
loved.
sister. Yeah, she's got more money.
Whatever, all kinds of things like that come into it. Is it okay to lie to your parents? Well, personally, I think that no. I would like honest relationships with everyone, including your parents and your siblings. But we know that, unfortunately, that's a naive way of looking at things, and it's not always that easy or that simple in real relationships. Yes, but I do think that she should have told her husband why she's doing this, even if it might upset him a bit. And I think that she could have told it to her husband in a way that wouldn't upset him. So it wouldn't put him as if he's not as good, but rather that her parents are very materialistic and they wanted them to be financially better off.
So take a step back, not to go ahead with the loan and putting up the post. Before all of this, take a step back and then really think about where does this pressure coming from, and have honest discussion with her husband that this is how she felt, this is all the pressure, or this are the things her family are saying to her. Having an honest conversation about that, maybe they might be come up with a solution that is slightly better than the solution she came up herself, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Another question that comes up here is, are you willing to accept your partner's choice even though you're not happy with it, versus deciding for them, in his case by deleting her posts, when it comes to you? So is that actually a controlling behavior by him actually going and deleting the posts? Could he have been unhappy with her choice, but still accept it because for whatever reason she has a different mindset about this whole situation than him?
I see your point. This is so hard to answer. They both have such strong opinions and both have very strong grounds to stand on, I would say. From a behavior action perspective, obviously, going, like you literally talked about before, going into other people's account, no matter it's your wives, it's your sisters, it's your siblings, it's your parents, deleting stuff that they very much care about, or whether it's true or not, without consent is not okay. But to reach that end results, there are other steps can be done.
Yeah.
Obviously, they tried talking, but that talking didn't resolve the issues that the husband was curious about.
Well, it seems like it
Yeah.
didn't, yes. And then there is also the question of what do you actually do when you don't accept your partner's choices and their choices actually impact you directly?
Well, that's really hard. Can they meet in the middle?
Well, the first thing they need is an honest
The
relationship,
honest relationship, yes.
and honestly talk about it, and then find maybe something that both of them are comfortable
Yes.
with, and that possibly will be a solution. And you know, she talked about the fact that she believed that her partner should always side with her even when she's wrong and protect her. But actually, she's protecting her husband or his feelings by not telling him, not by being honest with him.
She's protecting her own feelings as well. Yeah, and her husband's feelings in a way that she didn't want her husband to feel being judged by her family or inadequate just because he didn't make enough money.
Yes. So if you see yourself as us against the world, like Lena,
Like what she said, the total transparency and honesty is required.
Yes, that you actually need to talk to your husband about it's us against the world. This is how I'm feeling. This is why I want to do what I'm doing.
Why this is important to me.
Yes.
Yeah.
How can we do it in a way that both of us are comfortable and both of us are okay with? And possibly it could be that the husband will convince her maybe that it is us against the world. So what does it matter what your parents think about me as long as you're happy? Over time, they'll see that you're happy, even though we don't have that amount of money.
Yes.
So, and if they don't see it, well, maybe it's their problem and not ours.
Yeah, and they have each other. They have 110% support of each other. Then, like you said, why does it matter? Even it might seem extremely important to her right now. Maybe her sister just got married, or maybe they are a lot more well off than what they are doing. But you don't know. Time will tell. In 3-5 years' time, she might be in a much better position than what her sister will be in at that time.
And the fact that her sister is richer does not mean that her sister is happier.
Exactly.
Or that her relationship is a healthier one.
No. That's not a guarantee.
And what's more important, having the finances or having a happy, meaningful relationship?
That's the question they need to ask themselves. Really, what she needs to ask herself, and they can figure out together.
Yep. And also borrowing money just in order to keep appearances, that's a huge red flag in my eyes. So what is it about really for her that she needs to keep up these appearances, and it is such a strong issue for her?
Again, why was it so important to her?
Yeah, it might be relating to proving herself, especially if it has to do with money.
With her sister, maybe they had sibling rivalries growing up, and this is a chance she thinks she needs to catch up, or she always been doing better, and now she's doesn't seem to be doing better in a financial wise. We don't know. There's so many.
Yep. So is it coming from shame, or is it coming from trying to change the family's thoughts about him in actual fact? Or possibly jealousy of other family members, which really means a lot of insecurity on her part.
Yes.
So I think that her stopping and actually asking herself, like we said in a previous episode, what is this really about? Why is this really impacting me? What is it about me needing to put up this show?
Yes.
Where is it really hitting a nerve for me?
So she needs to be honest with herself.
First and foremost, yes.
First and foremost, yeah.
And then there is the actual question that I think a lot of people need to decide for themselves. What do you value more? Transparency or protecting even if someone does a bad thing or the wrong thing.
True.
So if your values are transparency, then obviously lying to her parents, to her family is a big no-no.
That would be yes.
But then if you think that protecting your partner, which Lena says is the most important thing for her, is number one, then you'll understand that her not being transparent is a big issue for her, and then maybe you can actually accept it as well. But if his values are that transparency is more important than even protecting your partner, and she thinks that protecting the partner is more important, then you actually have a couple that their core value is
doesn't
different.
align. Yes. Yeah, I see your point.
And then they also need to discuss that and find something that they both can live with very, very comfortably.
Yes. That's very interesting. And can I just say, it might be more common than what people think. Reading the story, read it out loud, I'm like, this is ridiculous. How can someone just borrow money to keep up appearance? But we see that more often these days with social media, with information being shared online so much, and people in your age seems to do better. I have friends who works in bank. I've heard there are people coming taking personal loans. I'm talking about in Australia, they would want a 30 grand, 50 grand loan to have a Europe summer to go spend that few months in Europe. Europe is really expensive to travel to, especially if you want to go in their summertime. That's the peak time. And on social media, you constantly seeing your peers, your friends in the early 20s not making that much of money, probably not even working yet. How do they have that much money? Almost look like a show off. They must be doing something right. But there are people taking personal loans to go on holiday.
And again, people can make a lot of choices about what's more important for them. Some people having a house and having a car is more important too, while someone else may be going on this holiday of your dream that you think that you'll never ever get a chance in the future to do might be more important. But some people just don't think ahead, and they don't think of the consequences, and they just think of the short term. I really want to enjoy myself now, and I'll deal with the problem relating to the loan later. And find themselves just putting themselves in a situation that's very hard for them later to get out of.
Yeah, there's another big topic about being financially responsible.
Yes.
And what your values are, really. I guess if you have 50 grand of saving, do you want to get a new car or do you want to go on a big fancy trip? That's your value.
Yes.
Whatever you value more. But when you don't have the money, it's really worth it to borrow money to put your future yourself into more debts and pay more interest on top of that for something that you're solely doing for keeping up the image.
Yes. And are you doing it really only for the image, or are you doing it because you actually feel that this is the only thing that will give you, I don't know, meaning to your life at the moment?
Or is that what you really needed at this point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I see your point that unfortunately too many people don't stop and ask themselves, do I really need this? And they just automatically go to something just because other people are, or so it's coming more from jealousy, or it's coming more from keeping up the image, or it's coming from I want to be like everyone else, rather than being okay with who you are, what you have, and what's really important to you.
That's good. We actually talk a lot more than just
this story.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Well, that's the end of this episode. I hope you enjoyed our discussion. We'll see you guys in the next episode.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
If you also have a relationship dilemma that you are struggling with and you would like us to bring it up here anonymously, you can email us on bestpossibleme.podcast@gmail.com. You can also find the email address in our podcast bio. Don't forget to like and follow our podcast so you get the notification of each new episode. See you next week.